Today we're going to be talking about statements. The concept of statements refers to declarative sentences that can either be true or false. We have to understand that a statement is a sentence that makes a claim. It has a clear meaning and can either be true or false. 1 plus 1 is an example of a statement, and this statement is a true statement. A true statement in mathematics is a statement that corresponds to a fact or a condition that is correct or valid. On the other hand, a false statement in mathematics is a statement that does not correspond to a fact or a condition that is incorrect or valid. It contradicts reality or violates the established principles and rules of mathematics. Now we'll talk about negations. Negation is a negation of a given statement. The negation of a true statement is false, and the negation of a false statement is true. Sometimes it's necessary to change a statement to its opposite meaning. Compound statements are usually formed by two simple statements using the following connectives: and, or, if then, if and only if. If then statements are commonly used in proving of geometry. For example, if two sides are opposite sides of a rectangle, then they have the same length. If a figure has three sides, then it is a triangle. Such statement is called an implication. If and only if statements or by implication statements are commonly used. Recall that if a figure has three sides, then it is a rectangle. It is also true that if a figure is a triangle, then it has three sides. An if-then statement consists of two parts: the hypothesis, the if part, and the conclusion, the then part. It establishes a cause and effect relationship or a conditional relationship between the two parts. The statement asserts that if a hypothesis is true, then the conclusion is also true. However, it does not necessarily indicate anything about the truth or of the hypothesis or the conclusion independently. Example: if it is raining, then the ground is wet. In this example, the statement suggests that whenever it is raining, the ground will be wet. However, it does not guarantee that the ground is wet only when it is raining, as there might be other reasons for the ground to be wet. If and only if statements. An if and only if statement establishes a two-way relationship between two conditions. It indicates that two conditions are both necessary and sufficient for each other. In other words, it states that the first condition is true, and only if the second condition is true. Example: an angle is a right angle if and only if it measures 90 degrees. In this example, the statement asserts that an angle is a right angle if it measures 90 degrees, and it measures 90 degrees only if it's a right angle. Both conditions are necessary and sufficient for each other. If an angle measures 90 degrees, it is a right angle. If an angle is a right angle, it measures 90 degrees. So in short, if-then statement expresses a conditional relationship, whereas if and only if statement expresses a biconditional relationship, indicating that two conditions are necessary and sufficient for each other. Now, let's talk about the converse of a statement. When the hypothesis and the conclusion in an if-then statement are reversed, the resulting statement is called the converse of the if-then statement. When an if-then statement and its converse are true, the if and only if statement is true. For example, both if a figure has three sides, then it is a triangle, and its converse, if a figure is a triangle then it has three sides, are true. Therefore, a figure has three sides if and only if it's a triangle is true. When the hypothesis and the conclusion in the implication are negated, the resulting statement is called the inverse of the if-then statement. For example, the inverse of the statement if a figure has three sides then it is a triangle is if a figure does not have three sides then it is not a rectangle. The contrapositive of a statement. When the hypothesis and the conclusion in an implication are reversed, then negated, the resulting statement is called the contrapositive of the if-then statement. For example, we reverse the hypothesis and the conclusion of the statement. If a figure has three sides, then it is a triangle, to form the converse of the statement. If a figure is a triangle, then it has three sides. Then we negate the hypothesis and the conclusion to form a contrapositive of the statement. Thank you for watching my summary on statements.